WNBA union calls for writers' credentials to be stripped. Christine Brennan set off an online firestorm with her questioning of Sun forward Dejonai Carrington. The WNBPA called the USA Today columnist unprofessional and indecent. Players, coaches, teams, and leagues regularly have issues with how they're covered in the media. Individuals complain about it on X/Twitter, and institutions privately bring it up with editors all the time. What does not usually happen, though, is a players' union blasting a reporter by name, as the WNBPA did with USA Today columnist Christine Brennan on Friday. The union went after Brennan in a notably personal and aggressive statement on Instagram, calling the veteran journalist unprofessional and indecent, and accusing her of fanning the flames of the racist fan behavior that has plagued the league this year. The statement said Brennan should have her credentials to cover the league revoked. On Sunday, Connecticut Sun forward Dejonai Carrington poked Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark in the eye in a play during Game 1 of the team's first-round series that Clark said was obviously unintentional. On Tuesday, Brennan posted a short clip of her interview with Carrington, in which she asked the 26-year-old whether she meant to hit Clark in the eye, and then followed up by asking whether Carrington had laughed about the play later in the game. The question was, at best, ignorant, and in the video, you can see Carrington roll her eyes at the question, but she hung around and answered. "I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye," she responded. "That doesn't even make sense to me." Fans immediately blasted Brennan online for posting the clip, with even New York Knicks guard Josh Hart saying, "They need to start taking media credentials away for stupid questions like this." Carrington and her teammates were targets of intense racial abuse online and in person during their series against Indiana, as a subset of white fans have attacked any black player who is physical with Clark. Carrington posted on Instagram an email she got in which someone called her the N-word, which also read, "I hope someone rapes you and cuts your head off." Her teammate Alyssa Thomas said, "I think in my 11-year career I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base." That's the context in which Brennan asked Carrington about how she defended Clark. "You are not fooling anyone," read the union statement, headlined, "A message on behalf of the 144, referring to the total number of players in the league. That so-called interview in the name of journalism was a blatant attempt to bait a professional athlete into participating in a narrative that is false and designed to fuel racist, homophobic, and misogynistic vitriol on social media. Clark is white and straight, while Carrington is black and gay. Her partner, Nalissa Smith, is Clark's teammate on the Fever." The statement continued for 5 slides on Instagram. "You have abused your privileges and do not deserve the credentials issued to you," it read. USA Today Sports should explain why a reporter with clear bias and ulterior motives was assigned to cover the league. Carrington reposted the union statement on Instagram, calling Brennan goofy. The clear bias is a reference to the fact that Brennan is writing a book about Clark, a common arrangement in sports journalism and one that USA Today has begun disclosing on Brennan's columns about Clark and the WNBA. Brennan admonished USA Basketball when they omitted Clark from the Olympics, calling it the worst decision she'd seen in 40 years of covering the games. Brennan has said little about the controversy publicly, and she did not respond to a message from Front Office Sports. She reposted a statement from USA Today sports editor Roxana Scott on Friday. "We reject the notion that the interview perpetuated any narrative other than to get the player's perspective directly," Scott said. "Christine Brennan is well regarded as an advocate for women and athletes, but first and foremost, she's a journalist." Representatives for the Sun, Fever, WNBA, and WNBPA did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Among the open questions, will they continue to credential Brennan? Did the union attempt to approach Brennan or her editors first? Will Brennan continue to cover the WNBA playoffs, or is she headed for the golf course with Clark?